of the time. I said, Joshua, what's wrong with you? And he kind of stirred off in space, and he's about 10 years old at this time. And he began to stir off in space, and he said, Mommy, Daddy said that you're going to be in a car accident and you're going to die.
Yo, what in the world is going on in the church these days? I mean, buckle up, because this one is absolutely wild. So you probably heard the name Pastor David E. Taylor. Yeah, the same man at the center of multiple scandals, and now a whole new layer is surfaced that's sending shockwaves through the Christian community. So if you haven't already heard the name Pastor David E. Taylor, buckle up, because this man's track record is reading like a spiritual soap opera. And it just took another disturbing turn that's sending shockwaves through the Christian community.
Who is David E. Taylor? Now, for those who don't know, David E. Taylor is a self-proclaimed apostle and leader of what he calls a kingdom ministry. But depending on who you ask, that ministry either looks like a revival movement or a full-blown cult. His name's been floating around for years, connected to scandal after scandal, flashy lifestyle, false prophecy accusations, manipulating women in the church, you name it. Gospel singer Vicki Yohe? She publicly exposed him after a 16-month relationship, saying he was a spiritual predator and a master manipulator. She says he was having relationships with dozens, even over 100 women in the church, many of them told they were his wife, given false promises, drawn in with spiritual language.
He has convinced you that you are in a okay relationship because he's best friends with Jesus and he's immune from all of that and you're going to be okay. He said, I mean, God just really kept, and I would say stuff to David. David, this ain't right. He said, oh, it's okay. I'm best friends with Jesus. I stopped counting at 100 women that told me that they were in a relationship with David. Many of them said they were his wife, said to keep it just between them because church people are messy. That's what he told me. Church people are messy, Vicki, and I'm going to marry you one of these days, but just don't tell anybody.
Yo, that's textbook cult leader playbook behavior. But just when we thought the dust was settling, boom, an old clip resurfaces online. And this one, it's personal, it's disturbing, and it's life-threatening. In this now viral video, David E. Taylor's ex-wife, Tabitha Taylor, is seen opening up, raw, emotional, honest, and what she shares is nothing but scary. She claims, and listen closely here, that David told their own son that she, his mother, was going to die. Let that sink in. A pastor, a father, a man claiming to be sent by God, allegedly looked his son in the face and declared that his mom was going to die. Not spiritually, not figuratively, but literally out of hate.
All the time and have sex with multiple of the women that were within our ministry. A lot of times I didn't even want to be around because I just didn't like to be around him. I was afraid of him most of the time. I said, Joshua, what's wrong with you? And he kind of stirred off in space, and he's about 10 years old at this time. And he began to stir off in space, and he said, Mommy, Daddy said that you're going to be in a car accident and you're going to die. These are things that were said to my children when they were young. Even when I was in the ministry all that time, one of the reasons why I was afraid to leave, I hated being where I was at.
Yo, what kind of twisted spiritual authority does it take to speak death over someone you once called your wife? And not just to anyone, but to your own child. Like, what's going through a kid's head hearing that? Fear, confusion, trauma? That's not spiritual leadership. That's psychological abuse dressed in a robe and collar. And before someone tries to play defense and say, well, maybe he meant it spiritually, nope. According to Tabitha, there was nothing symbolic about it. It was a literal death sentence spoken straight up. And here's the thing. If a man outside the pulpit said that to his child about their mother, we'd be calling it a threat. But because it's coming from someone on stage, holding the mic, people want to act like it's a prophetic word. Nah, we're not doing that.
Just a one-off moment. This fits a pattern, a long one. We're talking spiritual intimidation, emotional control, and the weaponizing of prophecy. This man has been accused of manipulating women, staging prophetic dreams, isolating people from their families, and demanding loyalty at cult levels.
and now speaking death over his ex-wife to their child, that's a new low. We're not talking about your regular messy church drama. This is spiritual warfare disguised as ministry, and is dangerous. And here's the question that needs to be asked loud and clear. Where is the church? Why are people still defending this? Still calling him apostle? Still sowing seeds into this mess? Just because someone can preach fire or draw a crowd does not mean they're living holy. We've got to stop confusing gifts with godliness. We've got to stop hiding behind "don't touch God's anointed" when the anointed are abusing their platform. Because guess what? God's not in manipulation. God's not in fear. God's not in control tactics.
So now I want to hear from you. Yes, you watching this. What would you do if your pastor or your ex told your child that you were going to die? What would your response be? Have you seen the video? Do you believe what Tabitha's saying? Is this spiritual, or is this just straight up evil masked as authority? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Blow this conversation up, because this needs to be seen. This needs to be talked about. And please share this video with your church group, your prayer team, your family, your pastor, because if we stay silent, we are part of the problem. Church should be a place of healing, not harm, of peace, not manipulation, of truth, not trauma. This is not gossip, this is exposure. This is light pushing out the darkness, and if that truth makes people uncomfortable, good. Maybe it's time they check their convictions. Until next time, click the subscribe button to stay updated on more unfolding scandal.